Hello there. Welcome to Worldwide Ramblings. It is 9:04, time to open the door for another edition of fun, frolicking, and occasional controversy. Got to have a little controversy, people eat it up. Responsible controversy. Karen Phillips was first. Hello. Hi, Jack and everybody. Welcome to you. Welcome to all our friends, countrymen, whatever country you may be in. And of course, the muskrats. I just got word in the analytics that we do very well in the muskrat community, including Muskrat Susie and Muskrat Sam. They do the jitterbug. I like to see that. I would. Katina Swatsworth. I'm on before Jack. Yeah, I rushed, I'll tell you. It was a busy, I'll tell you about the few hours a little bit later on. Um, if I don't forget, Pam Donnelly is here. Neon, M.M. Staten, good evening. Hi. Hobdob from the great state of Wisconsin. Let's see here. Michael Hembry is here. Divine Me from Pennsylvania. Hi from Pennsylvania. Brenda Gaskill. We were Brenda free the last show. I don't think we had a single Brenda. It was like all the Brendas just decided to say, enough of this guy. Good evening, Jack. Good evening. Miles Wright, maybe Judy Wright as well. Hello. Tammy with an I. Hello, all. Jupiter's Realm. That's Andrea, right? Hi. Hi, Jack and chat. Let's see. Melanie, she's got a brand new pair of roller skates, and I have a brand new key. Actually, Lay Down from 1968 was my favorite Melanie song by far. Pavlich, are you related to Katie Pavlich, now seen on Newsmax? She left Fox News and is on at 10 p.m. on Newsmax, which I don't get. You got to pay for it. And I would, but there's just so much viewing time, and there's other things besides staring at a tube all the time, absolutely is. So I don't know. I don't get to see Chris Cuomo these days. Melanie Pavlich from Australia. Wow. We do real well in Australia. Here's Helen McDonald right under you, down under. Hi, Jack, and all from Australia. And all we have to do now is get Jackie Organ, and then there's a couple of mates of mine that are from Australia, and we'll be good to go. Elaine Peterson, hi, family. Well, hey, Elaine Peterson, hi. Nice to have you aboard. Super Pelham. No, Sue Pelham. Sue Pelham from the Pelham Parkway in New York City. No, she's in Tennessee. Thank your blessed stars. I don't want to say lucky. I don't believe in luck. I mean, Mondame, we're hitting the nosedive here. I mean, I'm really worried about my New York City pension. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm really worried about it. He's already started to raid one of the pension funds because, he has no idea how to run the biggest city. No idea. But people wanted their free stuff, so we'll see when they get their free buses. They'll tank their whole city. They'll destroy it because they want free this, free that, which he's not going to be able to deliver. Billions of dollars in debt, New York City. Same for New York. What can I tell you? Richard Lyon, the Grand Patriarch, joins us from West Palm Beach, where it's not going to be a horrendous Sunday, Monday like it is here, right, Richard? By the way, I'll get the content on what I talk about in the title, a letter of support for Pastor Bob. I'll do that at 15 minutes after. So just fast forward if you're in the replay to 15 minutes after, and I must keep that commitment. Jack, my friend. Hello, Mr. Jack. Hi. What's going on there? Oh, you've heard about it, Richard. I mean, well, we're talking snow bombs. We're talking about there's another word they're using. I don't think it's snow lightning, but it's gonna be crazy, supposedly, especially on Long Island. But no, now they've upped it over here where I am, 12 to 18 inches or more. Thought we were done with this. We had that big storm. Oh, it's coming up on 4 weeks ago now, I think, and the snow is still out there from that. They just finished clearing most of the snowbanks from the storm 3 weeks ago, and I live on a major street, and yet this time last week they had not, you know, widened the road. They had not gotten rid of the snowbanks here from the last snowstorm, so this will be on top of that because there's still quite a bit out there. So it's going to be wild. It's going to be wild. See my hanky? Isn't that beautiful? 100% cashmere. It's either 100%, I can't remember the fabric. It's either 100% cashmere or 100% cheap toilet paper. I'll have to think. I'm not sure. I just threw it in there. What the heck, I said. Then the camera's not really capturing it anyway. So all that for nothing, Richard Lyon. 81 and sunny, but going to be chilly Tuesday, but only for one day. What do you call chilly, Richie? What do you call chilly? We're supposed to get 3 to 6. Oh, so you're away from it then. You're away from the eye of the storm and the eye of the tiger. Bump, 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 bump. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah. Melanie says, "What have you been smoking?" Melanie Pavlich. I never remember you using that name before. But then again, I'm confusing you with Sue Pelham. That's scary. The movie was good, but for die-hard fans, not much I haven't seen before. What movie? I got to back up here and see what you're talking about. Julia Joyce. Hi, Jack and family. Been to see Epic 2 times. Is that what we're talking about here? Is that what you're talking about, Melanie? I know people were telling me in the email they were going to see it. 49 at night, 70 high. Well, suffer through it, Richard. Suffer through it. So you can't wear your shorts at night. Some people like Fetterman, 365 days a year, unless he's got to dress up because it's something really special, Like he wouldn't go to a funeral dressed in a hoodie and those gym shorts, would he? I don't think he would. I'll wait for it to come up on Blu-ray. Who the heck has Blu-ray anymore? Just wait till it comes up on Prime Video or Tubi. Tubi's free. Now, Tubi won't get it first. They'll get it much later. But Prime Video will be selling it. They're selling, comes out. It all depends on what they want to do. They don't have to release it 2 weeks after it finishes its theatrical release. We don't have to do that. So I will see it, but I think I'll wait for Prime Video, and even then it'll come in at 25 to buy, 24.99. Some people think that's cheaper. They do. Or 19.99 to rent. That's what it'll come in at, and it'll stay that way for a while. Of course you watch Blu-ray, and of course you have an 8-track player. Of course you have a Betamax, and of course you have a videotape collection of 250 videos. Isn't all that true, Neo? Isn't all that true? Tammy says, haven't seen Epic, but I did go to see. Yeah, I know people have been doing this. I can only imagine too. It was so good. Dennis Quaid's in it, right? Right? Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? I think he is. Those Christian actors got to find, that's, you got to get them in there. Did Kirk Cameron find a way in there? There's these well-known Kevin Sorbo. That's another one. Oh, yes. They're always looking for Christian films because Hollywood, doesn't want to hire him half the time anymore. I think Dennis Quaid can still overcome it because he's such a big star, but I don't know. Kevin, independent films or solid Christian movies for those guys. Of course, you have 8 tracks, Neo. There's no doubt about it. Yes, Dennis Quaid and Trace Atkins. Um, yeah, because all we see him is in those the Wounded Warriors spots, right? Yeah, it's the Wounded Warrior spots with Trace. Yeah, great voice. And I can't say I've heard a lot of his songs. I'm not really a modern country guy. I like the old style country, but I bet you Trace put some songs with steel guitar in it, doesn't he? I bet he does. Let's see, what time is it? It's time. I got to honor my commitments. I can't see your comments for a while, but I'll get back to you because people tune in just for content, and I gotta honor that. Here we are. Um, this is going to be from Anonymous, and they are free. It's a woman. They are free to put their name in it, or someone else can, if you know it, I guess. But this was sent to me, and it was also sent to them first. And I don't know them to do on my content, but I wanted to share this with you because we heard from at least two creators that Pastor Bob is responsible for anything and everything, even if it happens miles and miles away from his church. It's his fault. Like he's got ESPN or something, you know what I'm saying? And that a pastor should be responsible for everything and be all knowing, like Karnak the Magnificent, and trying to say, well, because Gene had a problem with something he felt people doing him wrong from Household of Faith and what have you. Now we can just add this other thing that happened by someone that was in the band for a while, technically not a guitar player. And we'll add that, and that's just will subtly infer, or even more than infer, that, well, here's another example of a shepherd that doesn't watch over his flock and doesn't do anything, didn't do what I wanted him to do, so I'll throw the golden calf away, hurt the magazine. and He wasn't alone in that. Dave Blaze made the comments he made. Got plenty of videos on that. Watch Honest Talk. So now, but I'm not on that team. I'm sorry, I'm not on that team at all. As much as I love Gene Ho, I'm not on that team, and I'm certainly not on the other creators team that was mentioning it. No, no, no. When somebody shows you who they are, believe them. Believe them. So, there are no perfect people. There are no perfect pastors. Anybody that's accusing Pastor Bob, if we had a videotape of your life, you tuck your tail right between your legs and you'd walk away hanging your head. Every single one. Every single one. Okay. So this woman writes, I just wanted to, supporting Pastor Bob. I've been watching Pastor Bob Joyce and 2013, that's when she started, after a friend mentioned him and asked whether I thought he might be Elvis. I dismissed the idea at first, but later decided to see for myself. From the very first service I heard the message was clear. I continued listening week after week. Over time, the comparisons became irrelevant. Irrelevant, I can say that word. What remained was the constant preaching of the gospel and music delivered with sincerity. That is why I kept watching. He contributed articles to a magazine for several years and later chose to discontinue doing so. He definitely has now. That was his decision. Since then, I have seen online videos that are openly critical of him. I'm not interested in repeating accusations or escalating controversy. A pastor cannot control every word or action of every person in a congregation. A church is made up of individuals who are responsible for themselves. Leadership is, I love this line, leadership is not surveillance, it is preaching, teaching, and spiritual care. Expecting a pastor to monitor private conversations or investigate every opinion expressed by attendees is unrealistic. My concern is not disagreement. Uh, it is the possibility that unnecessary hostility could discourage some who are searching for faith. That would be deeply unfortunate. And to individuals who continue to post these attacks, I would simply ask you to pause and consider what you are doing. Reflect on the impact your words may have, not only on one person, but on those who are simply seeking hope and spiritual guidance. We'd more be happy to call out the woman's name who wrote that if she should so like. Uh, and that was passed on to me by someone else in my email, and I appreciate that. But I'll leave it as anonymous. But that was just too good not to use. That was just too good not to use. What say you? What say you, Auntie Roo? Hmm? Ah, my goodness. I mean, I told you, Pastor Bob, before he entered the ministry, should have gotten himself a copy of the Hardy Boys Detective Handbook. You know, he should have. Oh, the guy's way down the road, you know. And by the way, the person accused is not beyond redemption. Word is that person was a pretty good guy. He had an addiction. Oh, it's a common addiction that men face, but he took it to another level. And now he's got to pay the consequences. Many people are falsely accused, but when you got it on videotape, it's hard to deny, and you don't want to deny if it's real. You got to face the music. Not always easy to do, but many people are falsely accused. Hi, Regina Terwilliger. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. And seeing if I missed anybody. By you, girl. Hello, Jack and family. So good to have you here. Deborah McGinty. Hi, Jack and everyone. Sad day today. Had to go to a funeral. So make me laugh. Wow. I thought I'm not going to be in that kind of mood tonight, but I come on and I'm in that kind of mood. I never know. I mean, I was so happy because went to the 5:30 mass today, and I think there was a redhead named Karen sitting right next to me there, and I was really happy and praising God for that. Um, she's been a few times here and there, but she was with me, and it was wonderful. I thought the church would be packed to the rafters because tomorrow, I don't know when the snow was going to start. So I thought we would have with us, we would have the I think it's the 8 o'clock, the 10 o'clock, which is a Latin mass. That would be like for me. That would be uh, like going to the Spanish Mass, which I did on Ash Wednesday. And, I didn't know this, but those Spanish people have a different word for everything. I thought I'd understand some stuff, but the pastor was the Spanish pastor, of course, who is very capable of doing the Mass in English, and I've heard him do it. Um, he was so passionate in his homily, and I thought, gee, I wish he'd say a few words in English so I'd have an idea what he was talking about. But no, no. So today it was the pastor of the church, Father Dennis Nikolak. He's Greek, and so that was very good. He's very short with his homilies, though. But he says in the few minutes he does have, not enough. He says some good things. He says some good things. Someday I'll tell you all about Hollywood. You don't want to hear it, Katina. It sounds braggadocious. I lived in Hollywood for a year. Okay. I could blow you away in terms of sermons, but I shouldn't be in the least bit happy at sermons in terms of outrageous behavior, but I shouldn't be the least bit happy about that. Oh my goodness, things are flashing before my eyes right now. Oh boy. Oh boy. I was how old was I? 1979 when I was on the set of the Village People movie with standing next to this Bruce Jenner guy who was in that Village People movie, Can't Stop the Music. Whatever happened to him? What do you mean he's a Fox News contributor now? I haven't seen him on there. He is a Fox News contributor. Oh, yeah, I'll tell you. Uh, oh, dear. Because that wasn't the only time I was there. I was there, back and forth on a Greyhound bus like 3 times. The 4th time I went on a bus, but I flew home, I think. Didn't I? One time I flew in, so I'm not sure, but I had to stay a year and get it out of my system, and after a year of that, I said, Enough is enough. I wanna get back to my radio career. They're not gonna hire me. I mean, if they hire me at the KOJ or, there was a few K-Earth, that was another one. Um Of course, they weren't. I had one station under my belt in 1979, one small station from upstate near Buffalo, New York. They weren't gonna hire me. Oh, dear. I'm so sorry, you had to go to a funeral. I don't know who the funeral was for, but I'm sorry. Um, let's see here. Marty Greco? Is he really? Hi, Marty Greco. There you are, hijacking everyone, went back to work. There you go. Now you be careful. Did you get your see what you want to do is you see that Skechers sign in the back, Skechers slip-ons, huh? Skechers slip-ons. The heel is a Goodyear tire. It's made by Goodyear. It's not really a Goodyear tire, but it's made by Goodyear. The best pair of shoes I've ever had in my life. I love Skechers. Now, why can't I get a deal like Howie Mandel got? Why can't I be an ambassador for Skechers? I love them so much. It's the best shoe I ever. Oh, it's so comfortable. So comfortable. I've got 3 pairs of Skechers. I got to go buy another white pair for the spring, but that's not here yet. Hello, Bay 1961, huh? Huh. See, he's helping me out here because I'm missing people. Because we got 79 watching right now. 79, we're doing fine. And I got an email for you later. Of course you do, Michael. Of course you do. Don't send me the same picture 3 times, though, okay? All right? All right? Yeah, well, I'm glad you're back to work. I guess you're not so thrilled about it, right? You get used to the freedom. Sleeping in a little later and stuff like that. I don't know what shift you do. I think you do days. I think you do. Um, Good to be here with you all. Yes, yes, yes. What's going on in the world of Elaine Peterson, huh? She's talking to Marty. And let's see. Anybody else? So yeah, we went to 5:30 mass and then we went down to you know, Karen's always worried, oh, storm coming. We got to get a few more things. And so we did that. And by the time I got here, it was getting close to 8 o'clock. Karen says, you got to be live at 9, right? I said, I do. So, but I already knew I was going to do that letter. So that was something, I got to have something, and we'll find other stuff too. But so that was a good thing. I've got my car parked in the snow position. Andy will be a busy beaver. If not tomorrow, Monday for sure. For sure. We got 3 snow blowers, the big one, the medium one, and the Snow Joe. The Snow Joe, which can get around in little spaces, but if it what he does is he goes out there while it's still snowing because the Snow Joe can't handle, 18 inches of snow. We thought this was all over. I sat in the gazebo last week. Sat in the gazebo, 50 degrees, it was kind of mild today, not bad. The calm before the storm. And I'm not talking about James Storm, Dark Shadows, in the very late episodes. In the very late episodes, he'll be part of the reunion in Burbank, July 31st, August 1st and 2nd. The Hilton, I guess, in Burbank, the one, the 60th and final Dark Shadows reunion. At least that's what they say. I could see Catherine doing something again. Catherine Lee Scott doing something at Lyndhurst. You were at a convention. What kind of convention, Neo? Oh, I see. You had a booth. Uh-huh. A Comic-Con. So who was the biggest star at your Comic-Con, would you say? Who was the biggest star? Who was there? They have some people, like Chiller Theater. They have these, people from the movie Night of the Living Dead. You've got to be that kind of aficionado. I feel bad for some of these people because if 3 or 4 big stars come in, they take a lot of the money that people have in their pocket. They put it in their pocket, you got to have cash. They don't accept MasterCard or Visa. Someday I'll tell you about the Hollywood. You don't want to hear it. The problem is, Katina, maybe you can figure this out. I would want to hear it because that's part of my problem. See, men like those kind of stories. Yeah. Yeah. That's been just one of my problems. So I wouldn't want to hear it. Oh, heck, I wouldn't. Yeah, the flesh would. The spirit wouldn't. Spirit would be disgusted with the flesh. That's how it works. I think you probably know that already. Elaine must have left the building. I sure hope not. I did say hello just now again. I hope not. Where is she? Did she take the train to the plane? No, there she is. No, I'm here, Regina. I didn't think I did anything to offend her. Spencer for Hire is here, is he? Hello, Spencer for Hire. Hello, Jack with no C. Made it at 9:30. Yeah, that's right. You're in the same time zone as me, but I forget where you're at. Are you in Pennsylvania? Hey, Hockey 92.7 FM saying hello to Marty. Hey, Marty, she says, good to see you here this evening. So, do you feel like you're 100% healed in your shoulder, Marty? Is it really good now? Back to normal? Some people will say, "Oh, I can tell after that fall I took. Now I can predict when a storm is coming." I get achy. I get achy. You want to see something really good? Watch Robin's Wish. Robin's Wish. It's the story of Robin Williams as he slipped into Lewy body dementia, the kind of the worst you can possibly have. Found this beautiful wife. They tell that love story of how he met her outside an Apple store. He had probably recently divorced and he met her outside an Apple store and they just clicked. And then he found out she was going to, I guess, Alcoholics Anonymous as well as he was. And she went to meetings and he says, well, we'll have to go together. And that started that. And so he went to a meeting with her. And then he didn't hear for a little while, and she went to a meeting and she didn't see him there, and she was really sad because she thought they really clicked. And then about halfway through the meeting, she looked behind her, and in the back row was Robin Williams. So it led to a whirlwind courtship and then marriage. And she was with him when she started to notice that Robin was starting to slip away. If you want to see an example of him slipping away on camera, well, they edit around it and stuff like that. But Night at the Museum 3, where he was very skinny, He was having trouble remembering lines, and he would talk to the director at the end of the day. He would call him at home and say, "Is there anything there you can use?" He was very self-conscious. It happened on that TV show that he did. He was starting to do this with his hand because he first he was diagnosed with Parkinson's, and then you do the thing where you notice the actor's putting his hand in his pocket all the time that's quivering, but there was something else, and they never diagnosed it till after he was gone. So he didn't know about that, but he knew it affects every area of your brain: paranoia, depression, um, hallucinations. Oh, everything comes at you. And so, and suicide is a definite thing, a behavior that some people choose because they're not really capable of rational thought sometimes. And of course, you're in serious trouble. So, Robin's Wish is worth your time on Tubi. Hello, one hip chick. It's so nice to be with you. I love all the things you say and do, honey. I got the notion you're stirring commotion down in my soul. How are you, one hip chick? Gallery, they're one hit. They're one hit, Carol Cook. They never had another. And Neo's having an ad. So should I wait? Good evening, Jack. Hello, Karen, too. I don't know if she's watching or not. I need good runners for my feet. Good runners for my feet. Bought Skechers 2 years ago and they hurt my feet. Now, come on. Did you buy the right size? What kind did you buy? I mean, because I've got three pairs and I love them. Now, the black regular tie ones, hey, you could slip on too, by the way. Um, I had to back it up. Sometimes you just need to go and don't get Dr. Scholl's. I wouldn't recommend it. And don't get the store brand. Get the really good thick soles and put them in there, and you got a new pair of shoes. You got a new pair. So I don't know. I can only tell you about my experience. Going to see if they have a good pair that are soft inside and very supportive. Yeah, these feel very supportive, and I have a pair of tan ones that I wear, and they're still great. It's really important that you have, as you get older, especially, that you have really good sneakers. Do not buy the cheap ones. Do not buy $12 sneakers. They'll kill your legs. You'll have problems with your knees and everything. You can't do that. It's not worth it. Where was this movie? If you're talking to me, it's on Tubi. Tubi's free, Tubi, Tubi.com. You can load it. You can load it on your phone. You can load it on your TV. Tubi is always free. Tubi is always free, and they got plenty of movies. They don't tend to sell too many movies. They do have Tubi originals. Uh, your career is not in good shape when you're doing an exclusive straight to Tubi for Tubi movie. But whatever. Whoops. Um, did I? Is the camera now going to fall because I went like that? I'm looking at it. It still seems okay. We'll see. Um, Jack, you're the best. No. Try the rest before you call me the best. So that's where Robin's Wish is, and many other good movies too, and many movies I should not watch, to be honest with you. Let's see here. Glad you're here too, one hip chick. And just like that, I've ran out of things to say. Classified V9. That's mysterious. Hi, where are you watching from, Classified V9? Nice to have you aboard. Jack, God bless you on your health journey. May you know that you are and will be okay. I kind of feel that. I have the peace of God about it. So beware of what they're doing on AI. Right now, it led to something good. What they meant for, Neuromax, don't buy it. Um, they're the whole presentation that includes um, Anthony Hopkins telling you he's about to introduce Ben Carson, brain surgeon Ben Carson. The whole thing, I guess, is fake, and you can kind of tell because they slip up sometimes. Instead of pronouncing the word cleanse, as Anthony Hopkins would do, he said cleans. Right then, I said, this is fake. This is fake. Anthony Hopkins would never pronounce cleanse, cleans, you know? He's a master with the spoken word. So, then later on there was something else, and then with Ben Carson, he mispronounced a word too. It's so authentic looking talking about this Neuromax, but what they were talking about, and then you got to watch for a long time before they cut to the chase. I was like 20, 25 minutes in, but they're talking about, something that will take away your Alzheimer's. Not that I necessarily have it. I may have pre-Alzheimer's. It's hard to say. I don't begin testing till April. Hard to see these people. But uh, he was talking about SYDR, Sitter honey, which is from the Himalayas. And you mix it with butterfly pea. That's PEA. I thought it was PEE. I'm gonna I'm gonna have honey that's got butterfly pea in. I don't know if I want that. Will it cure my Alzheimer's? Bring it on. Not that I have it, but whatever. So a butterfly pea honey and SYDR Cider honey from the Appalachians, supposed to be very good. So they were talking about this, and then of course it's all this thing. If you buy 6 bottles, you save. But we're running out. We only make small batches, and we could run out today. But if you are one of the first 10 people to call today, get this: one of the first 10 people to call today, you will get a Zoom call from Ben Carson himself. Yeah, and he'll stay awake for it too. And you'll get a Carnival cruise trip worth 3 grand. How's that sound? Probably what the thing would be there is, if even if it was real, that's 1 ticket, you gotta buy the second one or go by yourself. Or you couldn't go by yourself because 'cause they're not gonna want 1 person in a berth, cabin, whatever. Uh So yeah, so it was fake, and then it's like uh, they give you all the tiers of pricing and stuff, and you've got 10 minutes to do this, and or we'll pass it on to the next person watching, and it's just full of that. So meanwhile, Karen's on the other computer looking it up. I'm on my phone; she's on the other computer, and no, it's a scam. It's a scam, and they will. I'm not saying that they're not going to give you a product, but it's not endorsed by Ben. It's not endorsed by Anthony Hopkins, and they are known for just rebilling people, and it's a mess. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. So then we started looking up the ingredients that was mentioned, and sure enough, good stuff for the brain. And it doesn't compete with my Camzyos, which is very important because a lot of things, including Prevagen, I can't take because I'm on Camzyos for my heart. Um, so, long story short, my Sitter honey is supposed to arrive tomorrow from Amazon if they don't, get snowed out. And I haven't ordered the butterfly pea honey yet. Robert, hi. Talking to Julia Joyce, Robert Valley Jr. I forget where you're from if you ever told me. Melanie Pavlich, did you tell me where you were from? I might have missed it. You don't have to. I just get a kick out of knowing. Epic Boz Lemon. Yeah, that name, Boz. It's not like Boz Skaggs. Go to see it. Yeah. We were supposed to see Worthington, what's it called? Heights? Worthington Heights. And it's going to stay another week at the Paramount Theater. Karen wants to go see that. And So, well, thank you, Classified V9. Um, Always love to know where you're from. If you want to tell me, I do have a piece. That's all I can tell you about it. Here's Lynn R. Hi, and welcome, Lynn. So we'll see. We'll see. But I'm at first I was, really kind of fretting it and what have you, and because Karen's got certain medical issues, and I want to be able to be there for there. I want to be able to be there for her. And do I have a little memory loss? Yeah, I do, and it happened today. Um, Karen's going in. We got out of Mass and we drove down to the Campbell Hall Plaza, and I'm going to go into Brother Bruno's and get a sandwich, no pizza, but a sandwich, and eat half of it and give the other half to Karen for her dinner. 'Cause she doesn't want to eat right now. Right then, she didn't. She has eaten the other half by now. So I bring the half, Karen's half, up to the counter. There's Marlon, great pizza guy, and he wraps it up for me, and I pay him. Throw $5 in the tip can there. Got a tip. I always tip if you can. That's the thanks button right down there, and I'll mention the Cash App a little bit later on. But the thanks button you should be able to find. Maybe you have to hit ask, and that leads you to thanks. I don't know what they're doing, but most people can hit the thanks button for any amount, any amount. So I put my $5 in the tip can, and I just walk away. And now I'm throwing away my cup, and I'm saying, well, where's the sandwich? Did I just throw the sandwich in the garbage? So now I'm having to open the thing and pull the thing out, and I'm looking through a little bit. It's not there. So then I look over the counter, and it's busy Saturday night, and I see someone standing, but I can still see the white bag. So I go up there and I say, "Is that my bag, Marlon?" He says, "Yeah." I says, "Well, this is what you've got to look forward down the road." He's 40. "This is what you have to look forward to down the road." He says, "I can't wait." Oh dear. So I got my sandwich. Got Karen's sandwich actually, and we have a 77. You're in New Jersey. Now I understand your governor's under fire because he's going through a divorce. Is that right? Josh Shapiro and his ex his soon to be ex-wife says he's a serial philanderer, adulterer, whatever. So that could hurt his presidential ambitions. Probably not. Let's see. Hope you feel better soon, Bayou Girl, 1961. Always hurting here too. Arthritis in the back and neck. Back and waiting on 2 knee replacements. You're going to get them done at the same time. Well, we'll have to send Christy Brinkley over because she's experienced, because she did that for Billy Joel, her ex-husband, and he was ex at the time. She took care of him and nursed him back to health. He said at the time that if he didn't get both done at the same time, or was this his hips? It was probably his hips. Just forget the whole thing. But he said if he didn't get both hips done at the same time, he knew he'd never go back. So there you go. At least you didn't throw it in the trash. I would have picked it out because it was all wrapped up. It was in aluminum foil and it was in a white bag. So I would have taken it. I mean, no harm, no harm. But these kind of things do happen. Carol, I had a great orthopedic doctor. He did an awesome job on my knees, says Elaine Peterson. See, you went there and you got that done, and you were smart to do it, Elaine. Yeah. Puppeteering at a convention takes a lot out of me, but it is worth it despite the pain. I see. Sandra Fair, welcome. I think you might have been here before and I missed you. Anyone notice how quickly Pastor Bob was going up and down those pulpit stairs on Sunday? He used to look like he had problems with his legs. Yeah, he had a little limp, didn't he? Not like what was the character on Gunsmoke? Okay, I was trying to think of the character name. I can see the guy's face. This is before Dennis Weaver, right? It's a long time ago. Chester, right. Chester. Thank you, Pam Donnelly. How are you doing? She sent me an email recently, and I still have to absorb some of these things. I know I can't walk, and I know I can walk, and no pain now, Jacques. I really love my surgeon. So he wasn't like a surgeon cutting for the very first time then. Like a surgeon. It's a fact. I'm a quack. The disgrace of the MRA. What is it? They're what they're under. Uh, because my patients die. My patients die before they can pay. Oh, you get them to pay first, just to be safe, you know. Hmm. So that's a good point, Sandra. Yeah, yeah. And he loses about 10 years when the anointing comes on him, in my personal opinion, because people see him afterwards out away from the bright lights, because everybody's always saying like that, new people come on. Uh, People say, "No way is he 91. No way. Forget that theory, buddy. No way is he 91." I covered up the vent tonight back there because Brad just got in. He was rolling in the driveway as I was opening up the door to come up the stairs. And I always treat the stairs like it's a workout, I go up them. I don't go one leg and then pull the other leg up like I was doing for a while. I try to get a workout out of the stairs. Well, look at that. Miles Wright in beautiful taxi cab yellow hits the thanks button for $9.99. Thank you very much, Miles. Tends to be the same people, so new people would be especially appreciated. We have a core, and Miles Wright and his wife Judy Wright are part of that core. So thank you, thank you, thank you very much. So other than that, um, too many ums. I'm going to criticize others that too much. It's like one of the biggest crutches for anybody. You're buying yourself some time. You're you're you don't have anything to say. You're hoping that you'll come up with something in the course of the He looks amazing for his age, if he is that old. Um, Robert Wayne Joyce would turn 74 on June 19th. I believe that's right. Somebody was trying to say Google says he's 88. I don't know what name you put in there. And remember, if you just put Bob Joyce in, there's plenty of Bob Joyces. Plenty of Bob Joyces. But we tend to believe here Robert Wayne Joyce is 73, and Pastor Bob Joyce is someone who materialized like Will Shat does in the Raisin Bran. I always say Blan, Raisin Bran, Kellogg's Raisin Bran, that is. And did you hear the latest thing? I should use it as the thumbnail, but I don't know. I might just do it. William Shatner is doing a heavy metal album. A triple album, no less. 35 songs from Iron Maiden, songs from Judas Priest, songs from Ozzy, of course, and many others. And he's going to have people like Richie Blackmore on there who sang Smoke on the Water, dun, 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 dun. Lead singer of Deep Purple until he was just difficult. Well, look at that. David Culp, I didn't even know you were here. I didn't know. Robert Culp's youngest son, David Culp, is here. $10. And I'm looking at your graphic there. Are you sleeping on the job? Are you sleeping in the show? It almost looks like it's either sevens or Z's. I don't know. Very nice, though. Cute little feller. Thank you, David Culp. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's this kind of stuff, whether it be $10, $2, or someone who's been blessed and has been watching me for a while, going way higher. If you go way higher, please use the Cash App. Please use the Cash App. I'll give you that in a minute. But thank you, David Culp. Brenda Gaskell says, OMG, you've got to be kidding. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I could show you that photo right now, couldn't I? I could show you Mr. Shatner. I love William Shatner. He says, at 94 years old, you don't slow down, you speed up. You speed up. Yes. Yes, we have no bananas. We have oh, we got bananas. Ladies and gentlemen, the 11th commandment for Karen is thou shalt always have bananas on the kitchen table. I think she's gone a little bananas, but in a nice kind of way. Let's see here. Mr. Shatner, are you here? You are. I hope this comes up live. You never know. I'm not saying that's going to be the cover, but that's what he put up on Facebook, Instagram, etc., to advertise that he is recording a heavy metal album. Now, the last time he's done albums before, at least one that I know of, he talked the song. So I don't know if he's, I've never known him to have a singing voice, but I might have missed when he did something. But there's 94-year-old William Shatner with a guitar that I don't know that he plays. I don't know that he plays it. This is what you look like. I mean, one of the guys that was in the Household of Faith band may have had the same expression on his face. This is what you look like when you had a really bad day. And for this gentleman here, a really bad 66th birthday. That's what you look like after a really bad day. After hours of questioning in the Polisi station, and now they're bringing you home. So there should be some relief in that face, but it's like, you can tell he is scared out of his mind. But, the king is no one to talk, he never left his mistress and got married to die while he still had her. And some say William has cheated on Kate. I don't know, but they're all coming down on Andrew. And I'm not saying that it's not justified to be very upset with him, because if he is guilty of what they say, it's horrendous. But they are, it's like if they were standing there and the woman caught in adultery was before them, laying on the ground, expecting to be stoned to death. When Jesus said, let he who is without sin cast the first stone, I have to wonder, would the King of England have thrown the stone right at that woman's head? I wonder, Pam Donnelly, why are they picking on Andrew? Charles is worse. Well, that occurred to me, but then again, as far as I know, the inference, of course, is that Andrew was doing it with underage girls. I never looked up what's the age of consent in St. Thomas. I never knew where Epstein Island was till last week. What's the age of consent in St. Thomas Virgin Islands? Somebody find that for me if you can. But who else is in? Oh yeah. Howard Lutnick, what is he? The secretary of not the Treasury, because that's Besson, right? I get confused with my secretaries in the cabinet. But there was a letter. We don't want to really go down this road. Just a letter from Epstein to Lutnick way before Lutnick says he ever met Epstein, and he was describing that you want to come on this cruise. We're going to go to Barbados, and there's going to be 2 families on there. They got 2 16-year-olds, 2 14-year-olds, and a 7-year-old. Now, why would he say that to Lutnick? Oy, I don't know. I mean, I do know, but I don't want to know. See what happens with that, because I like Howard Lutnick very much. So I don't know if he's addressed that yet. Hello, sweet Elaine, says Gloria Harlow Drummond. Jesus is the answer channel right here on YouTube. So I don't know, Pam. I understand what you're saying, and it really turned me off when Harry, who we have problems with Harry, he just fell head over heels for Meghan Markle. So he's defending his wife, whether she's right or wrong, and it seems like she's often wrong. And uh, he decides to go to the official coronation of his father, and he's treated like lice. He's thrown in the cheap seats, and his father never went over to him. Um, Assuming that really is his father. You know what I mean? There's been a lot of debate about that. The general age of consent in the U.S. Virgin Islands is 18. Oh, darn. You missed it by one. Thank you, Tammy, with an I. She's my one of my field reporters there. Okay, I had no idea about anything in the Virgin Islands, because last I checked, there are no virgins in the Virgin Islands. I don't know why I said that. You may hit me with a ruler now, Katina. Oh, yeah, we've already established that would not be punishment on my pad. No pizza for 6 months. I should have gave that up for Lent, right? No pizza. That would have been a real sacrifice. But believe me, what I'm trying to do is a real sacrifice too. Fun fact to share. I was at Household of Faith on a Saturday for a private rehearsal in late 2025. Bob Joyce's eyes were crystal blue. Yes. People try to say they're brown because the lighting sometimes makes them brown. We've talked about, does he sometimes wear brown uh, contacts? Crystal blue as the sky on a good day, and was back on Sunday for service, and he was wearing dark contacts. Are you positive of that? And we've heard this. And was it the same man? Are you 100% sure that the person you saw on Saturday was the same person you saw on Sunday? Because it's almost getting to the point where I'm starting to think that the man who watch our video, Wild New Bob Joyce video, the man who answers the door for Greg Pritchard, we took a poll on what your thoughts were, and about 75-80% of you thought that is not the pastor who preaches at House of Faith every Sunday, but someone that looks very much like him, but he doesn't have the Elvis eyes, but he has the look copied with the little black part of the goatee here and everything, But you felt it was a different man. I do too. So you're 1,000% sure it was the same man. Okay. So yeah, well, we've heard about the contacts, and it does seem, that he does this. Here's an interesting question. When you saw him with the brown eyes, when he went to read from the Bible, did he put on glasses? Oh, that's a good one. Because you notice now he's got these black rimmed glasses when he's going to read from the Lord. How can you be, whether you're 73 or 91, you're going to be wearing glasses he doesn't have teleprompters, but when you go to read the word, look down, you're going to put your glasses on. And so that would be interesting. When he looked down at the Word of God, was he wearing glasses when you saw him having the appearance of brown eyes? If you said no, that would really be something. What's the name of the sermon? Go back and look, right? Yeah. If you know the date, you got it. You just can do it by date. I had lumpa and pancit for lunch and bratwurst for dinner. What the heck is lumpia? Lumpia. I thought you were talking about the Oompa Loompas there for a minute. Huh. Hi, is it Dalen or Dallin? Hello, Jack. Missed you and everyone. Just got a new phone. Is it an iPhone? Wow. Where are you watching us from? I do remember your name. I do. So I'm glad you're back. Welcome back. You're part of the, oh my goodness, 96 watching worldwide ramblings. I feel like I got to have some at the big 15 minutes in. We talk about that support letter for Pastor Bob Joyce. He is, he is not a soothsayer. He's not a medium, thank God. Uh, he doesn't know what's going on. I don't know how far away this musician was when he got caught in a sting trying to pick up a 14-year-old girl. Uh, but to try to tie that, because he had no record, everybody at the church loved him. To try and tie that to Pastor Bob shows, if that's not worth an apology, I don't know. But I know, I don't know that Gene Ho is incapable of an apology. I hope not. Would be a really good move, I think, in general. Um, but other people, I have my doubts. I really have my doubts. So what can we say? But I feel like I got to do something really good here. 94 watching right now. I've already lost two. Is 2026 the year that all our questions will be answered? Can you believe the amount of people watching Pastor Bob Joyce via bobjoycemusic.com and all the other the platforms that carry him, Instagram, TikTok? He doesn't contribute to TikTok or Instagram, but his stuff is loaded there by management and stuff like that. He has a manager. We're talking 33 million people. I couldn't believe that. First, it was in the 20s, and then it turned into 33 million people. So he doesn't need George Magazine. They needed him, you know. Let's just be real here. So beware of anyone that tries to or anyone that ever tried to take the name Bob Joyce and join him to the hip of George Magazine. He just was nice enough to say yes, to write some articles, to consent to an interview with Gene Ho, and that appeared in George Magazine, and then it was shown in various sources because it was obviously filmed. And so he doesn't need them, they need him, and he's doing just fine without them. They're not going to bring him down. Once again, um, the pastor does have the responsibility when accusations are brought to him to look into it and talk to the people that are being accused and what have you. But if you're at a concert on Saturday night for George Live and you have a perception about something, I'm sorry, but Christianity is not like Islam, where you don't get to have an opinion, especially if you're in an Islamic state. You get to voice your opinion. But yeah, there's a fine line between backbiting or spreading um, gossip and what have you. But having an observation about something is not something you forfeit when you become a Christian. And harsh talk from Jesus to the Pharisees, calling them a brood of vipers. So there is a time when it's not all happy talk. It's not all happy talk. Jesus was furious with the Pharisees. He was furious with them. Jupiter's realm is the 14-year-old thing. What caused the drama with Gene Ho? Gene Ho just commented on it and used it as here's another example. So sad to see that there's what happens when a shepherd is not doing anything when accusations were brought to him in terms of the sting of someone that was in the band. That has nothing to do with Gene Ho's accusations, has nothing to do with what he said at all. And we play it in the Honest Talk video, and then we play the update in the last show that we did. It was the last Worldwide Ramblings, right? The Wednesday night show. Let's go to my video list here. And I'm going to give you the Cash App handle if you could bless me with a tip on Cash App. Let's see here. The last live show, I have ashes on my head. You can't miss me. I did not use a Bob Joyce thumbnail for that one. Um, 92 watching, it says Bob Joyce, a support letter calling out the nonsense. We do that 15 minutes into this broadcast. As soon as I finish this live show, the replay should be pretty quickly available. The Wednesday show, live reaction to the Bob Joyce controversy. We played Gene Ho's latest complaint against Pastor Bob Joyce. And I can't say these things without telling you that I love Gene Ho. It was a pleasure to interview him. It was a pleasure to be interviewed by him. I think this is a misstep on his part. I do. I haven't seen the video. Did they put it up as an example? And have some of you seen it? Video of Gene emceeing the Saturday night concert at George Magazine Live at Hot Springs what was it? August, right? August. Did they put that up? Because that's when people thought that he was somewhat intoxicated. And so they might have put that up to prove them wrong. Supposedly the band had made a comment that they felt he was, and then they took that comment down. But people saw it before they did. I don't know. I didn't see any of it. And I'll make this point: if the Bible doesn't teach, whether you want to try to make it sound like it does or not, against having wine, against having some. Well, I think we found a scripture that talks about beer being okay. Wish I would have wrote that scripture down. Probably not in the original King James, they would say. But I think there's a scripture that says wine makes the spirit merry, Merry. So, if you want to say that having a glass of wine with dinner or what have you, having any kind of drink with dinner is a sin, that's up to you. I'm not in that camp. I'm not in that camp. David Wilkerson was in that camp, and he also said all Christian rock music was of the devil. So I had a point there somewhere. The point has escaped me, but the idea is that, oh yeah, I got it. It came back. See, takes me just a little while sometimes. If Gene had a drink or two, you have to be careful. It's a fine line between just a little, do I want to use the word lit? Just a little bit feeling kind of relaxed and drunk, and you can make a mistake and go over that line. I remember once at a Jimmy Sturr concert, he went over the line. It was late in the show. Well, the band is doing most of the work at this point, and but he announced from the stage that he was drunk, and he didn't get that gig again. Now, he's a legend. He can go anywhere he wants to. That's the only time I ever saw that happen to Jimmy Sturr. He'll have a drink or two, but he did a little bit more than that at this one particular gig. But he was still in control of himself, and he was still able to basically do his job, as the leader of the 18-time Grammy-winning orchestra, Jimmy Sturr. So, by the way, we got our tickets for Wilkes-Barre. I hope some of my Pennsylvania fans are going to come out. Friends. Some of my Pennsylvania friends are going to come out to Wilkes-Barre on the 11th of April, 2 to 5 p.m. at the Wilkes-Barre Casino. You don't have to go into the casino. I think I'm going to Ruth Chris that night because I think this is what I hear, that Polka Sean told non-polka Karen, she likes some of the polka. She likes other stuff that the Jimmy Sturr Orchestra does, because it's not just polka, rock and roll and everything. They cover the gamut. But but there is a Ruth Chris Steakhouse there that is Sean Hannity's favorite place, favorite steakhouse. And I think we might be doing that after at 5 o'clock. We may be going to Ruth Chris, but it'll be a great show. It was last year. I'll tell you, it was so nice. So many young people dancing and what have you. It's $25 a person to get in, and there's food there in the food court and what have you. That's fairly decently priced. And maybe some of you will come to Wilkes-Barre, and you can get your tickets at the door. You can get your tickets at the door. So there you go. So check that out. I have no idea if Gene Ho had anything to drink. I'm not saying he did. I did not see the tape. I was not in attendance. Bob Joyce, a support letter calling out the nonsense is what we're doing now. Other videos that we have. We did some pre-recorded videos earlier this week. Let me go back to regular videos, not live. All our live shows, just click on the live section of this channel, the Virtual Church of the Disillusioned. Let me do this first. Oh, dear. Pam Donnelly hits the thanks button in beautiful turquoise for $2. Every bit helps. It does, it does, it does. So thank you. Thank you, Miles Wright. And thank you, David Culp, for hitting the thanks button. If you can, please do. It would be great. It all helps. I get paid on the 21st of every month, except in this case, the 21st is a Saturday, so that'll be Monday. And just in time to pay my tax lady on Monday her fee. Oh, no, Monday was canceled because there's a snowstorm. I'm now going Tuesday. I go Tuesday to see her, late Tuesday afternoon, or almost late Tuesday afternoon. Yeah, we had to change that, you know. So thank you, Pam. But there's another way to do it as well, and that's Cash App. Cash App. I get more of it if you hit Cash App, but I get a significant amount from the thanks button too. Media Guy, lowercase letters, Media Guy, the number is 56. I was born in 1956. Media Guy 56. That is the Cash App handle that I use. You load that from the Google Play Store, and you can use it for a whole lot of things. You can even pay bills with Cash App. You can have money and account in there if you want. And I've never had a problem with it. I've never had a problem with it. So that is my Cash App handle, Media Guy 56. Let's see here. Go here. Oh, I do have something from a inside source. I think something that they might allow me to read. Now look at this here. Elaine Peterson, God bless you. She's so faithful. She hit the Cash App for $10. She does that almost every show, if not every show, for a love tip. Yeah, thank you so much, Elaine Peterson. Nanette, today for Just Cause. Like that, for Just Cause, also hitting the Cash App for $10. Thank you very much, Nanette. I won't give your last name because you use a different name here, I think. Oh, Tammy, and I know you're out there working hard. Tammy works hard for the money. She works hard for the money. Today for Have a Great Week. Thank you. What are we doing this week? Tuesday is taxes. Monday we're snowed in. And what else? Probably going to see my son in late April. That's what it looks like. Somewhere around the 21st of April. And I'm going to stay there for a little while. I don't want to rush back, at least 10 days maybe. I want to spend some time with my son. But he's working a lot of the time. But, when he's working, I'll be sleeping. So thank you, Tammy, with an I. $25 on the Cash App. And she works hard for the money. I appreciate that so very much. And if you can do that for any amount, whether it's $1.99, or $1,000, if you've been so blessed and been watching me for a while, because my retirement is more meager than I thought. Circumstances happen that way. And so it really helps me fill the gap. And, Texas coming up. Um, and we will broadcast from the Lone Star State. It's not like you won't see me for a while. We'll just do it out there in Texas, where one of my exes lives in Texas. Yeah, and I'll be pretty close to where she is. Maybe she'll come on for an interview. Maybe pigeons will suddenly dive into the sea with scuba equipment on. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Very nice. Oh, here's Michael's picture, I bet. I'm tired of being Elvis. Yeah, I've seen that before. Here's the thing, Michael. The confession no one heard. Does anybody care? I may listen to it, but as I've noted, maybe even to you, Bob Joyce is now more popular than old Elvis info. There are people I know here on the media, on the YouTube, and on other media sources that are trying to tell stories about things that happened in 1973, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and maybe even before that. And nobody does it better than the Memphis Mafia kid and his wife. And what is that? Your sister-in-law and your father, your mom and daddy, mommy and daddy, mom and daddy. They're good too. And I'm sorry that they get so much flack and are berated so much by somebody. I just, it's relentless and I feel bad about it. I would never do something like that. You can disagree and then move on. But if your whole channel is about old Elvis info, and I'm just going to stop right there, because they can do what they want on their channel. They can do what they want, but I don't have those feelings about the Smiths. I don't have those feelings at all. I've enjoyed both of those channels, and that's the way it is. So, of course, he was tired. We know that already, Michael. He was tired of being Elvis. He felt like he was in a tomb, trapped. He'd have to go out to a midnight showing of a movie. They'd have to close the theater and open it up for Elvis. It was probably going to be closed anyway at that time, unless they were showing the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And yeah, he also had major health problems. It's just nonsense to say that he didn't have that that he didn't have a serious problem with legal prescription pain medication given to him by Dr. Nick. He did injectable pain medications. In the Albert Goldman book on Elvis, he talks all about it. And he did a pretty good job, even though he wasn't an Elvis fan. So people who say he didn't, and whether they're related to him or not, I mean, it's just silly. You got members of the Memphis Mafia saying it. You've got the research of Albert Goldman saying it, and other people. He had pain from his karate stunts and what have you. He also had insomnia, so he needed medication for that. We're not saying the man was a heroin addict. We're not saying Elvis was on heroin or coke. He legal. We all take legal pain. Well, we don't all take it, do we? I know, Elaine. I know, and there's one other person too that might say it. We don't all do it, but many of us do. Let's face it. If you're not going to have a great diet when you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, you're going to get uh, type 2 diabetes at least, and you're going to have medication to control that. Otherwise, stop eating the pizza and the cake. we don't want to. We don't want to. That's the problem. See, you know, if you got funny bones in your pantry, you can't be talking if you got funny bones. So thank you, Michael, though. I may look at that. Now let's see what the inside source said to me, because I think they might be saying there's something here I can say. Okay. It's so funny that you mentioned that, because I just did that letter. I just read that letter myself. Um, now I see this. I see this after. I thought it was a very good letter, a very pro Bob Joyce letter. So I only saw one letter, and that's the only letter I'm planning on reading, and it was very defensive, making some good points about Pastor Bob Joyce. He's not a surveillance detective. When you join a church, your pastor's not going to follow you around like Columbo, with a trench coat on and a magnifying glass and recording devices. So the letter I read was completely pro Pastor Bob Joyce. Or to be honest, I wouldn't have read it. I wouldn't have read it. I thought, yeah, I like the way she's making the point. But if she's on a mission about Gene Ho, well, I'm not. I love Gene Ho. I just think he's wrong in this particular instance. I just think it played out wrong, and there are no winners. And it's a shame. It's a shame. Um, she was basically commenting on his attack videos. So that's fair if you're going to, right? If you're going to attack Pastor Bob in a video and say, here's another example of the sheep not doing anything and expecting that what the pastor will do is exactly what Gene wants, that's unrealistic. It can be totally unfair. So that's what I'm saying there. That's what I'm saying there. So I just saw this now. But it was a good letter. So yeah, exactly. It gives some insight into the ongoing situation with Gene. That's the only one I plan to read, but I thought it was well written. Uh, and I have not been on her page. I just saw this was sent to me by, to be honest, another creator, and I thought it was worthy. And uh, how can I put this? I'm trying to think how to put this. Yeah, I know nothing about a page. I was just sent one email. So that let's just put it this way. What this person wrote that I read to you at 15 minutes after the hour of this video, of this live show, Worldwide Ramblings, is in no way affiliated. They don't even know who she is. No way affiliated with Household of Faith. This is something she wrote because she thought um, that it was a low blow to accuse Pastor Bob of things that he can't possibly control, like what happened in a sting operation many miles from the church, when everyone involved had no record at all and was beloved there, beloved. Um, so yeah, so I think we're cool, right? I think we're cool. I just saw this now. Did not look at it first because I was out at mass. I was out at mass, and then Karen wanted to go, get a few more things for this gigantic storm we're gonna have. Oh, you people are rushing there. You gotta get the bread and the milk. The bread and the milk. I gotta get the bread and the milk. We got too much bread, Nancy DeMarco. Would you like some? Jack, you know squat about this issue. Oh, here's Nancy is going to come on strong now because I know from the beginning you said in a public post that you were taking Gene Ho's side, not Pastor Bob's side, and that you weren't going to go there anymore. Am I going to lose Nancy DeMarco over this issue? It's so unrelated, squat about this issue. I know what I heard in the reports. I can decipher that. Um, I know what other people have said that were at George Magazine Live. So you are showing, I am showing partiality to Pastor Bob. Yeah, you don't even know if Gene was not said. He's not a drunk. That is poor writing, Nancy. No, no one's saying he was a drunk. Sometimes I believe Christians can drink alcohol. Some Christians would disagree with me, but I see it in the Bible. At the wedding feast of Canaan, Jesus did not turn the grape juice from money saving brand into Welch's. It was fermented grape. So people that say, "Oh, Christians can't touch a drop of alcohol," But if you are in Camp Gene Ho and you're gonna blame me for it, then I have to respect your opinion, but I'm not gonna agree with it. And then he backs it up with another, video trying to tie in something that happened many miles down the road with some that caught in a sting to say, "Oh, here's another example of the pastor not doing." I do more know more than squat, Nancy. I do more because Gene's been posting it. He's been posting it. So, what can I tell you? I don't need to leave it alone. No, I don't plan on doing any more either. But if there's more to comment, you're on Team Gene Ho. Screw Pastor Bob. Okay, we got your opinion. We got it. Okay, you know. Other people thought about that and said, "Boy, I don't want to. I don't want to do that because nobody watch my channel. Nobody will watch my channel." So I don't know why you are quite. I'm shocked. I'm shocked that you would think that Pastor Bob, that you would be so quick to side with Gene's opinion. Gene Ho's a great guy. I love him. They love him there at House of Faith. His son played in the band. Come on, this is just an unfortunate thing. So I disagree with you, and I can't accept your rebuke. But I love you. But I know how Christians are. I'll say that. I've seen it happen in too many churches. I love you. I love you till one day they don't. Till one day they don't. But I'm reminded that I gotta keep on loving you, Nancy. I gotta keep on loving you. And unless there's more to the story to come, I don't plan on covering it. I don't plan on just bringing up old stuff. But he did a follow-up video. He did a follow-up video. I'm reporting the chronological story. It's relevant. It's relevant. Oh, dear. Gloria, help me. Princess, I don't lie. Sorry you took that the wrong way. Princess is here? Princess Tiffany? Are you a bona fide princess or are you here to give us trouble? There's only one Pastor Bob Joyce. Yeah, I agree. The man we see every Sunday, household of faith. But yes, I believe in the two Bob Joyce theory. I have talked about that since 2018. Robert Wayne Joyce, who married Willena Hattie in 1975 when Elvis was very busy being Elvis still. And was she also the Germany girlfriend with Elvis? Many people say yes. I'm not convinced of that. We have even presented other possibilities. So I never said Gene Ho is a drunk. Instead, I came to his defense and said, if he had a drink or two and oops, he went a little bit too far. And Gene is an entertainer. He loves to joke. Maybe it was perceived that way. I wasn't there. I don't know. But don't say that people that go to a church are like some kind of Jonestown cult and they can't say their opinion on something. Oh, that's gossiping. It can lead to that, but it may not have been that. So there you go. I don't know. So I'm just saying what we have told the story. Not going to lose me, just aggravated with this issue. Well, you have stood next to Pastor Bob Joyce in numerous pictures. You have been to his service. So you have to factor in whether you think he's for real or he's not. You really you were in awe of him, and now you're ready to say, I'm not going there anymore. What am I supposed to do with all that? How do you know he was never drunk, Princess Tiffany? You don't know that. Gene Ho does not drink. How do you know that? How do you know that? You can't state your ideas as gospel. You can't state your ideas. But I'm not saying that he was. I'm not saying he had one drink that Saturday night. I'm just saying what happened and what was the perception. Perhaps they just took him fooling around and being Gene. And I don't fault him for doing that. He's got to be entertaining. When he does his videos, he's got to be entertaining. So I understand that. It happens to me all the time. I say, oh, there's the DJ coming out on me. I was a little blue there. I semi apologize for it, you know. My husband will never leave. Well, now you're saying it's your husband. My husband will never leave George Magazine. And I see the name Joyce in there too. My antennas are going up. Princess Tiffany. I don't know. I've got a few people that use royalty in their names. My husband will never leave George Magazine. And George Magazine. Who's your husband? This ought to be good. And George Magazine lives help the church get money. You have to understand with what Dave Blaze said about Pastor Bob Joyce, that it would be, unless they would all come together under the call of God, he's not going to go back and do another one. He's not going to do another article. Dave Blaze said that he possibly was the ringleader of all this stuff. This is really further into this mire I wanted to go, Nancy DeMarco. Because then we get people that we don't know, like Princess Tiffany, and my antennas are up here. Who's your husband, Princess Tiffany? Let's see. Gloria, help me out. She is. She's giving me support. Jackie, the name Elvis Aaron Presley was a stage name. We killed the image of my husband is never going back to his old stage name. Yes, I've seen you before. You feel you are married or were married to Elvis Presley, right? Oh dear. 1999. Thank you so much, Hockey 92. It comes at a time when I could use a little support here, a little verification that I'm, haven't run amok. Camp Run Amok. That's the name of it used to be the grandfather's cottage on the lake that Sydney Sweeney bought her grandparents' cottage, and she calls it Camp Run Amok. Cousin Michael's last name was never Jackson. Tiffany, I just you're speaking, and you've done this in a few pre-recorded videos, and I just think I removed it. But this is not the place for these kind of wild statements. These kind of wild statements. It just isn't. Sorry, but it's not. You don't have to have a major gift of discernment when you know something just doesn't feel right. Jack, says Jackie from Australia, I still think info will be released before EP's autopsy next year. I did hear somewhere, Jackie, that they postponed the 2027 date. They had assumed Elvis would be dead by then. Perhaps. So I don't know. I don't know if I have to wait that long. I have to email that person after the show. Too much drama on Elvis. It's all I hear. Well, what did you think our main topic was, Michael, who gave me an Elvis thing? We're in a time now where there is some drama that, involves three people at least. So you can talk about your favorite clam chowder if you want here on Worldwide Ramblings. But this is serious stuff. And you heard what Nancy said. I had to address it. So you should be able to comprehend that. I had to address it. You can't leave that hanging up in the air, Oh, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, David Culp? Yeah. I love the fact that the Cocoa Puffs turn the milk brown, don't you? I haven't had Cocoa Puffs in quite a long time, actually. But Nancy, never said I'm against Pastor Bob. You said you were done. I'm not going to back away from what you said. You're not going to go there anymore. And I will go to the church. Well, I'm glad to hear it. He is a great preacher, and he is Elvis. Are you positive about this, Nancy? Just saying, it feels like gossip to keep giving any credence to this Gene Ho story. He updated the story, Nancy. He came out and he tried to tie something that happened far away from the church as another example. Who is he talking about here? That the shepherd is not doing their job. He backed it up instead of apologizing for what he wrote, as was suggested by LWC Media. He doubled down. Christians double down like they're at the casino. I've seen it through every church I've ever been in. Double down, double down. This is not the craps table. So you know what I mean, Nancy? But I don't plan, just like what somebody else says. What's another thing they say? I hit too much. Oh boy, something people have gotten on me about too much of Biden, Joe Biden. That's Robin Roman. I think. Are you here, Robin Roman? She said I talked too much about Biden, and I said, well, I've covered it, so I'll give you that. I'll stay away from Biden for a while, but never mention anything in politics. I can't mention that the president was voted down by the Supreme Court, but now he's finding a way around it. If we had to pay back those tariffs, well, first of all, there goes that $2,000 that he was planning on giving you because the Supreme Court made that not possible. Thank you, Justice Alito and Clarence Thomas and was it Gorsuch? 3 of them were on the president's side there, but if it's just temporary tariffs, unless you go to Congress, I think the president can live with that. He can live with that. Jack, my first comment tonight. All this foolishness regarding Elvis and Gene Ho needs to stop. Elvis was only married to Priscilla, and we know this is not her. She wouldn't stoop this low. Your show. If you're talking about Princess, she just came on here out of the blue, and I just blocked her. You could probably see that by the retracted messages all of a sudden. I had to absolutely, as the other creators have, I had to cover the Gene Ho, Bob Joyce story when somebody says that he's a shepherd not doing his job. And I looked at this, and my feeling was, as you know, you're making me repeat it, that a pastor is required to investigate a situation, talk to the elders. Do they have elders at Household of Faith? I never hear about them. Talk to the elders, and then take it to the prayer closet, and then ultimately the Lord decides. And I believe pastor is a prayed up, spirit-filled man. He decides, and if what the Lord decides isn't what Gene Ho wants him to do, too bad, right? You would agree with that, right? You would agree with that. Gene Ho took the plunge, and then he doubled down. Whose fault is that? So, Carolyn, this is not what I want to be saying to you. You know what I want to be saying to you. So, it's not about ignoring it like, there's no pink elephant in the room, because they're coming after Pastor Bob's reputation. As I looked at this, I felt that was a bad call. And I certainly, what Dave Blaze said in my thread on this channel, on one of our live shows, on the Honest Talk video, look and see what he wrote. That had to be addressed. It was in my thread. But other than that, Carolyn, I want to say I hope you're okay. I pray for you every night. You made a big announcement here a couple of weeks ago. I won't talk about it again if you don't want to. I'm certainly curious about how you're doing. Do you notice anything happening and all that? You could share that in an email, jackthefairguy@gmail.com. I offered that the last time and you did not write to me, and I do not have your email. I do not have your email. I couldn't write to you. I couldn't find it. So Jack, the FAIAR guy, or even write it down at gmail.com. But it's interesting. Um, I am not anti Gene Ho. I love Gene Ho, but I didn't do this. But I have to react to it. So that's the email. I'd love to have a health update from you. Um, Then I apologize. Was not aware Gene made another video. Yeah, it's on my Wednesday night show. It's on my Wednesday night show. Nancy, that there's an incident with someone who played in the band at Household of Faith that everybody loved with no record at all. They got caught in a sting. I don't know if it was Chris Hansen, like Catch a Predator. It was like that. And he was soliciting the affection of a 14-year-old girl. Far, far, far away. That has nothing to do with Pastor Bob. And to throw it into the mix this is another example, to me, was wrong. Oh, Elaine, I am not. I've told you to go to the optometrist, but you don't go to doctors. So you're not going to get. Uh, so I hope you're okay. I pray for you every night. I put my hands on my head because I have, some plaque. I don't know. My GP, as I've said before, seemed to indicate, no, you don't have it, but there is. So now I'm getting that SYDR honey via Amazon, and that's supposed to be really good for brain health and possibly dealing with plaque. Yeah. And then maybe the butterfly pea honey, also. I'll probably buy that next, but don't fall for the Ben Carson that Anthony Hopkins introduces. That's fake. It's AI fake. So I love you, Fancy Nancy. I was hoping someday I get to see you in person. My medication seems to be helping me. I promise I will email you. Thank you. This is obviously something that's on my mind too, but you talked about a specific kind and it was scary. The scariest is what Robin Williams has. That's why I recommend people watch on Tubi, which is always free, tubi.com, tubi.com. Watch Robin's Wish, as his wife describes his descent into Lewy body dementia, which is the worst of the worst, the worst of the worst. So here's somebody new. We have 93 watching. Maybe it's good to be maybe. All right, Nancy, we might as well fess up. I told you to come on and stir the pot, and you did. Now, that would be funny, but no, that's not true. Okay. Let's see here. Let me read down. My medication seems to be helping. Very good. 3 Pen Don 14. Someone jumped on here and said Elvis Presley was a stage name and my husband isn't going back to that name. So in other words, the lady that posted was saying that's her husband. Yeah, she's done it on some of the pre-recorded, and I just removed it without blocking her. But I think that we all know what's going on there. Okay. Here's Alnac 21. I must chime in here. I'm sorry to say the person who says Gene Ho doesn't drink, well, he does drink. Anyone around Gene knows that firsthand. Okay. I told that amusing story. I don't know when you came on, but I was busy. I got Karen to go to church with me tonight at 5:30, and then we ran to the store. By the time I get home, it's 8 o'clock. I got no time to check emails, but I saw an email. And I said, well, I'm going to check that and I'll just read it to myself, and maybe there'll be something public that needs to be said that was, obviously given permission to do so. So, um, but I read that after I read it 15 minutes after the letter from this person, and I thought, well, this is really good defense for Pastor Bob. So I saw no reason not to do it. But I know nothing about this person. I've never been on their page. Another creator that I trust sent me this and was very impressed by it as well. And I thought, well, yeah, he's not a detective. He's not a surveillance detective like Columbo. This happened miles away. So I thought you'd like it. So I hope we're okay there with that. It's going to, I think you left out a word, Michael, take a lot of proving that Bob Joyce is Elvis at 91 years old. Man doesn't move like that. Dick Van Dyke dances at 100. Dick Van Dyke dances at 100. I'm not judging Gene, but you can't know him well. Talking to the other person. Yeah, I mean, you really got to, it's like all you ladies will agree with what I'm going to say right now. You don't really know a man until you marry him, because all that time you were courting, to use a word you'd hear on the Andy Griffith Show. I love that show. I love that show. Don't forget to follow Ernest T. Bass Review. Please do this. I love this guy. He's on Facebook. Ernest T. Bass Review. The real Ernest T. Bass was Howard Morris, who directed many episodes of the Andy Griffith Show. Wonderful talent as the hillbilly who would throw bricks at people's windows and what have you. Great actor. And so now the Ernest T. Bass Review is being done by a guy whose real name is Eddie, and he is a pastor of a church over in Appalachian country. His father's the senior pastor. He's the assistant pastor. But on Saturdays and maybe Sunday afternoons, he does fairs and festivals, and he goes out as Ernest T. He looks like him. He sounds like him. I would highly recommend you follow, because he does godly messages on there too. And sometimes he just comes on as Eddie, from the church. It's a beautiful stone church up there in the Appalachian Mountains. Ernest T. Bass Review. You won't be sorry. Okay. I'd like to get him on here. I would. So, but we're going to kiss and make up, I think, Nancy DeMarco. And she didn't see the second follow-up. She didn't see the second follow-up because she really startled me the first time, I'll have to say. I wasn't expecting it, But I love Gene Ho. I just don't agree with either of his posts. Hi, Jack. I finally caught alive again. Caitlin Klein Stuber. Welcome. Where are you from again, Kate? I might have asked you once before. So many places. So if you don't believe Bob Joyce is Elvis, Michael, that's fine. That's fine. There are others here that don't. It's just when it becomes an obsession to keep hammering the point and stuff, it becomes too much. Then people say, oh, we don't need this. We want this to be a fun group. There was a gentleman that came on here and didn't say squat, since Nancy used that, for months about his true feelings. And then all of a sudden he became a champion of the cause that Bob is not Elvis and and people were getting, I was having to answer him every time. And at some point it just became too much. So please repeat your email. The letter, it's not really good programming, because as soon as we're finished with this, you can just play it back. And we're almost 2 hours in, If there was a couple of other people that thought I should, so I have a quorum. I need a quorum. You want me to read it again? I will, but I need a couple other people so I don't think the whole audience is saying, oh, don't read, you read it already. You know what I mean? But you'll be able to hear it very soon. So just go 15 minutes in, and I'll put that in the description. Gene did insinuate that Pastor Bob had been warned about the band member, that he did nothing about it. That was deception of Gene. I bet you Gene's watching right now, although he goes to bed early, so maybe not. He's watching the replay. I don't know. I'm caught in the middle here, you know. Uh, if you reread what I said, we don't know if he was drunk, let alone had a drink at all. I do know nothing about his drinking habits, but the person who's talking to you, Nancy, does. You're talking to inside source. So, keep that in mind. This was the perception of people at George Magazine Live on Saturday night, that he had been drinking prior to taking the stage to be the MC. And saying that is not gossiping. It's just saying, whoa, that surprised me. I know it's a fine line before it turns into gossiping, though. I get that if you keep repeating it. I get it. Deborah McGinty, good night, Jack. Time to go to bed. It's been a long day. Catch rest of the video tomorrow. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jack, for always making me feel welcome from listening. God bless you. Amen. Thank you again, Deborah McGinty. Oh, dear. Jack, no. Do not go. It's early. I didn't say I was going, Elaine, but soon. Yeah, I don't want to go 2.5 again, because that's a long, long time. But you're in that club, so, you do have a certain amount of pull, yes, please. I missed the letter. Oh, Jackie missed the letter. So it's 2. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Who did that song? I got to go to my creator. That's so funny, though. The person who responded later, that I saw that afterwards in the wrong order. But I've never been on that person's page. Okay, here it is. I thought it was well written myself. I thought, yeah. By the way, okay. No, that's something else. Now, where is it? Don't tell me I lost it. This happens sometimes. Sometimes they just disappear into the ether, half of the string of emails, and I never know how to get it back. Oh, no. Okay, here it is. Okay. So the letter from this anonymous person, I'm not saying who it is, who I've never heard of. I've been watching Pastor Bob Joyce in 2013 after a friend mentioned him and asked whether I thought he might be Elvis. I dismissed the idea at first, but later decided to see for myself. Makes sense. From the first service I heard, the message was clear. From the first service I heard, the message was clear. I continued listening week after week. Over time, the comparisons became irrelevant. What remained was the consistent preaching of the gospel and music delivered with sincerity. That is why I kept watching. He contributed articles to a magazine for several years and later chose to discontinue doing so. Well, that's a little bit of a too fast of a capsule there, but okay, that was his decision. Since then, I have seen online videos that are openly critical of him. I'm not interested in repeating accusations or escalating controversy. A pastor cannot control every word or action of every person in a congregation. A church is made up of individuals who are responsible for themselves. Leadership is not surveillance, it's preaching, teaching, and spiritual care. Expecting a pastor to monitor private conversations or investigate every opinion expressed by attendees is unrealistic. My concern is not disagreement, it's the possibility that unnecessary hostility could discourage someone who is searching for faith. Would be deeply unfortunate. And to the individuals who continue to post these attacks, I would simply ask, did I read this before? I would simply ask you to pause and consider what you are doing. Reflect on the impact your words may have, not only on one person, but on those who are simply seeking hope and spiritual guidance. I may have left that part out, so I'm glad, if so, I got that in this time around. Okay, cool. I see that. I thought it was pretty good. You know, if he called himself a prophet, you say, well, you should know about that. I think you should know about that. Don't be telling me Dick Van Dyke's going to die in the next 5 years. I don't see it as a revelation. Oh, stop it. Stop it. There are real prophets and real prophetesses out there. Um, so yeah, Bob Joyce Church Under Fire, picture of Bob and Willina sitting in the congregation. I think they're watching someone at their own church. 3,100 plus views now. I knew that was going to happen. I'm not going to tell you I didn't know that would get some response. It's still not my hottest video. It's not. Let's see here. How do I do that? Oh yes, I remember. I remember now. Oh, I got to go to analytics in general. Let's see. Say. Okay. Here are my top 10 videos right now. All of them seem to have the same name in them. What do you want from me? I can talk about aliens outside my window and show you video footage and you don't care. So, this is my cross to bear. But Pastor Bob Joyce been very, very good to me. Number 10, Pastor Bob Joyce, God's Soldier. It's a live show. That's number 10. Number 9, will Bob Joyce appear in a Nick Cage movie? Got verification from a source on that. Yes, he will. No, not that he will appear. I'm sorry. I proposed that question that he could possibly be in a diner as a customer. Why wouldn't that happen? Because he would think, well, it's not a Christian movie. I don't know. I'm just guessing. Do you think he will be? Anybody out there know whether he will be possibly an extra in the diner or somewhere? But it concerned Nicolas Cage filming a scene from his movie at Sabrina Joyce McDonald Beasley Bogdanovich's house. She was never married to Peter Bogdanovich. Scratch that. So number 9, will Bob Joyce appear in a Nick Cage movie? Concert details. By the way, I hear that it's Cabot, Arkansas, right outside of Little Rock. Is that true? And that's sold out or almost sold out? That's what somebody else is saying. Number 8, Bob Joyce incident heats up. That's a magic title, but it was heating up, so I did not lie. Number 7, is Bob Joyce done with George Magazine? Okay. It's got, about 1,741 views or a little more. Number 6, live chat. What is coming up soon? Prayer requests, brutal weather. Hey, almost 1,900 views, and I didn't mention the magic words in that one title. Bob Joyce controversy, honest talk. I pulled that down and had to put it back up for context. Over 2,000, going towards 2,100. Number 4, the Bob Joyce story keeps getting stranger. Your thoughts? 2,200 plus views. Number 3, here it is. Bob Joyce Church Under Fire. It's interesting that Google AI wrote under that, brainstorm video ideas. Huh. Interesting that they wrote that. You don't see it. I see it. 3,060 plus now. Number 2, Bob Joyce caught in a trap. I'd like to get your comments on what I say there too. Did he write Jesus, set me from my, save me from my sin? Because he seems to be indicating someone else wrote it. the sleeve indicates he wrote it. So I'd love to get that cleared up. Number one, two Bob Joyces finally caught together. That comes from, I think, the footage that was shot around Sabrina's house, where we seem to see that. But someone else said it could, well, I forget how they explained it, that I could be looking at the same Bob Joyce twice. One's definitely moving away from camera, though, does not want to be seen. This story is bizarre. It's bizarre. It probably keeps me sharp mentally, trying to follow this story, zigzagging all over the universe, all across the universe. So that's the top 10. So there you go. Wow. Huh. So Katina is still here, is she? Talking to Elaine. Very good. Because I know you're only getting, I think you told me 3-4 inches of snow, did you say? Or 6 inches of snow? I have 101 videos on my channel so far. And what's the exact name of the channel, Neil? Tell them. Jack, curious, your take on why Dave would have said what he did in his comment, in your comments, and you are certain it was really Dave Blaze? Yes. In his old X post, he seemed to feel differently. Interesting. Inside Source went back and forth with him. So they definitely felt it was Dave. So that kind of confirmed it for me. And what does that word mean, Neo? That whole big word that seems like it's either a sexual thing or a sexual orientation or a very bad cancer of the blood disease or something like that. 3 to 6 inches, and you're part of Pennsylvania. I'll give him your street address later. Let's see here. Let's see. There are so many channels on Tubi. So many channels. I don't think there's one channel, but sure a lot of stuff to see on there. So many movies and what have you. My head spins at times. What did I watch the other day? The Kate Logan affair. The Kate Logan affair. Young police officer who's been on the job just a few months meets up with this handsome French chap. First, she thinks she arrests him, thinking he's a serial rapist, and then realizes when she sees his ID and everything and hears his accent, she's made a terrible mistake. But man, is he a good-looking guy. So later on, she comes to his motel door and they go out and have a drink together. And then what happens after that, it's not likely the kind of movie you'd see Kirk Cameron and Kevin Sorbo in, but there's no nudity. There's no nudity. Will Pastor Bob appear in a Cage movie? Doesn't sound good. As an extra in the diner, he's just having a coffee and a bagel, or is it a Dr. Pepper and a bagel? And if it's a bagel in Arkansas, is it really a good bagel? Can anyone confirm? Can you even get a hard roll in Arkansas like New York? I don't think so. The best bet for a hard roll, it would be Jersey Mike's. That's what I would say. That's what I would guess. The closest thing you'll get is at Jersey Mike's. Well, we did get it confirmed that a scene was shot at Sabrina's house. I think that's confirmed, right? If I'm missing something here, that's confirmed. Why would that happen? Would Nicholas want Pastor Bob Joyce to be an extra in the movie, if not even a cameo? Would he want that? Yes, he would. I can answer that one. So I don't know. Or maybe, Sabrina, maybe Matt, maybe Matt's husband. I can tell you he looks something like Randy Quaid now, her husband. Beard and all, So I don't know. This is bizarre. Hello, all from Maine. We're going to be coming up your way this summer, if the Lord allows. We'll do one of our cheap Maine vacations. We'd like to go to Wells. We haven't been there. We'll go to Kennybunk. And Kate, Hayden, cooking, Mama, homestead. Oh, we love Maine, but not this time of year, to be honest with you. We want to go to Madden's. Do you go to Madden's? That's how Karen always says it. I want to go back to Madden's. Martin's is a great store that's only in the state of Maine, like in Lewiston, Maine, and in Sanford, Maine is where we would go. Sanford, Maine. Love Sanford. Love Old Orchard Beach. We go there. We'll go into Portland once we put on our bulletproof vest. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Just because you guys have a separate publication called the Police Blotter that you have to buy for $1 and something, and it's full of people that have been arrested. Oh dear! But we've taken a boat tour out of Portland. We ate at the lobster place on the pier there, the lobster rolls and what have you that they have. Karen loves that place, so we'll definitely go into Portland. Julia Joyce, I find it difficult to believe that he would comment on someone's channel, as Jack is just one of many creators speaking about Bob Joyce and EP. Who's that? What did Jackie say? I guess is what I need to know, right? Wow, this turned out to be a wild show. And there's still 85 watching. Frank Summer, hi, welcome to Worldwide Ramblings. He's going to make a case for med beds now. Google says they don't exist. Let's see. Med beds can make you younger. It is reported. Does Elvis have access? My guess is yes. See, that would be a guess. That would be wild speculation. Frank Summer. Dick Summer was a New York City radio icon, but I don't know you, Frank Summer. My guess is yes. Well, then you're saying that you have physically seen a med bed. Tell me all about it. Jack the Fair Guy at gmail.com. Jack the FAIR guy at gmail.com. Perhaps his witness protection is ending. He was never. If he was in it, the moment you're going to go on YouTube, the witness protection program is going to say that's it for our program. You can't go on the YouTube around the world and be in the witness protection program. I've often said that if we are right in our possibilities, and I could be wrong about the whole thing, all that we do here is we speak of possibilities, or we read somebody's verbatim, or play somebody so they can do it in their own words, verbatim text, on an issue. But other than that, it's just possibilities that I could be wrong about. In terms of med beds, there's somebody else here that comes on and talks about med beds. But if you look it up on Google, they say it's fiction. And so if you know more and can point me to pictures of said med beds and stuff like that, I'd love to hear it. Where are you watching from, Frank Summer? I don't know that he would have needed to be in the witness protection program. He was technically a federal agent, given a badge by President Nixon, and also had credentials with the Memphis police and what have you. I don't think that he would have needed to formally be in the program. They were more than willing to help Elvis. Including possibly when a large-sized gentleman passed away, placing that body on the floor of the bathroom in Graceland, because the paramedics said that wasn't Elvis. That ain't Elvis. They were told, hush your mouth. You keep your mouth shut. Do your job. Excuse me. I could have used the cough button there. So that's the story. Hi, lovely Rita. No, you're not. Yeah, you are lovely Rita Maid. I'm late again. Don't make me think of jokes that I could use. Uh, Hijacking everyone. Hi, Rita. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Old boy is here too. Hi, I saw the new Elvis movie, Epic. You're calling it an Elvis movie. Okay. Really, really good. Amazing behind the scenes, great concert footage, highly recommended. All right. I'll try to get it into the theater. If not, I'll watch it when it comes on Prime Video. If it comes on Netflix, won't come on Netflix. If it comes on something crazy like Apple TV, I'm not going to get Apple TV just for a movie. I'm just not. Um, Bill Gates said he regrets every second he ever spent with Jeffrey Epstein. He wished he had never done it. I would think that there's a chance of real repentance in Bill Gates as he gets older. He wished he had never went to the island, never spent 5 minutes with Jeffrey Epstein. Oh boy, I saw that tonight. Yeah, see what's going on here? This is wild. This is wild. 90 people watching right now that I know of. Yes, we have a Martin's right here, wherever you are in Maine. It's just a wonderful store. Get excited when you go in there. You never know what gem you're going to find. We, in my second marriage, we went to the one in Lewiston. We went to the one that was somewhere around Calais or Calais, Maine. It wasn't one in Eastport. Eastport was beautiful, but there wasn't too many people left there. There was one small grocery store. Property was much cheaper in Eastport. They had filmed a Fox show there, and they still had the big, I think it was a fisherman or something that they used for the show, and they said it's a gift to us. You can keep it. When the show ended, I don't know what the show was that shot in Eastport, Maine, but good places to eat in Portland. Besides that place right on the water where we take the boat tour. We just ate at the Chinese place up on the hill. What the heck is the name of that place? We ate there at least twice, and there was a young lady there that we were looking to see the second time we went, and she was there, a college student, but she has dogs, and she runs in the snow with her dogs in the winter. So we were happy to see that she was there. And it kind of reminded me of the bar in the old the Shining movie with Jack Nicholson. I've talked so much, I'm getting hoarse. But I'll stay on a little bit, Rita. I've been on for 2 hours and 11 minutes, 2 hours and 12 minutes. Yeah. Who does, I don't think even Wings of Pegasus does that long, does he? Talking about all his geeky music stuff. And he's got so many subscribers. Here I am struggling to open up a cough drop on a live again. I got dishes to do downstairs and what have you. I'm glad for your success, Neil. It's not the easiest channel to remember to type out. I am going to Arkansas in July. I got to try the bakery. There's a bakery you heard about in Arkansas. Classified V9 says highly recommended Blue House Bakery. There it is. Blue House Bakery and Cafe. If I'm ever in Arkansas near Benton, not sure about the bagels. Great scones. Karen loves scones, muffins, and breakfast. Just like if you go to Bar Harbor, Maine, you got to go to Paulie's. What is it called? It's I have the T-shirt somewhere. It's with a P, and it's only open for breakfast and lunch. Great blueberry pancakes, great blueberry muffins. We've only been to Bar Harbor for a few days, one time. I have a video that we did from there. It's a short video, under a minute. Shorts video. Yes, wonder why Dave Blaze said that. Yeah, I don't know. I was kind of surprised because it's such final statements. It's like, really, I don't know. It did surprise me. So I don't have the answer, classified V9, as to why he would say that. Except, sometimes people say stuff in anger and then wish they hadn't. I've certainly done that. Oh, many times, many times. Let's see here. What's Rita saying? Condolences. Had to go to my daughter ex-husband's memorial. He passed away 3 days ago. Oh, that's terrible. I'm sure he was not an old man, right? Sorry to hear that. Problems with Apple TV. All right. I have never seen Apple TV. It's the same thing with Peacock, although that new sitcom with Tracy Morgan and a couple other people, it looks very funny, but I'm just guessing. I do like Tracy Morgan. I do. Haven't baked banana bread in a long time. I do. Haven't baked banana bread in a long time. Well, make sure you bake it through and through and it's not raw in the middle. I have a potty mouth. Just out of the blue, she says this. Elaine. Too many, don't forget that second O, too many rules and regulations. Okay. In terms of how tight a church is, in terms of, as you say, rules and regulations, it depends on the church, As I say, the thing about that draws people to the Catholic Church is nobody talks to each other. They just go for service. They may be going just as a ritual, and it means very little to them. They just want to stay out of hell, and then, or they may be very devoted Christians, and it's one-on-one experience for them. Now, there are ways to have fellowship in the Catholic Church, but it's not after the Mass usually, They have events, though. They do have events. Good night, Michael. Yes, good night, Michael. God bless you. So there you go. That's a story. Let me read from the Word of God. So I guess tomorrow will be stay in the pajamas day. I'll take a shower and I'll put the pajamas back on. I don't see see us going anywhere. Anywhere tomorrow or Monday, for that matter. Psalm 50, part of Psalm 50 in the NIV. The mighty one, God the Lord, speaks and summons the earth from the rising of the sun to the place where it sets, from Zion. Yes, Zion. From Zion, perfect in beauty, God shines forth. Our God comes and will not be silent. A fire devours before him, and around him a tempest rages. He summons the heavens above and the earth that he may judge his people. Gather to me my consecrated ones, who made a covenant with me by sacrifice, and the heavens proclaim his righteousness, for God himself is judge. Hear, O my people, and I will speak, O Israel, and I will testify against you. And I am God, your God. I do not rebuke you for sacrifices or burnt offerings which are ever before me. I have no need of a bull from your stall or a goat from your pens. For every animal of the forest is mine, and the cattle on 1,000 hills. I know every bird in the mountains, and the creatures of the field are mine. If I were hungry, I would not tell you, for the world is mine and all that is in it, says the Lord. Psalm 50, part of it. Part of it. Wow, we had a lot of comments today. Still 77 watching. 77. I'm amazed. Worldwide Ramblings. You can see the whole show. Um, it'll be available in the replay. But yes, William Shatner is recording a heavy metal band. Should I put that in the thumbnail? I might just do it. Or I might put Bob Joyce. Happy storm? Happy snowstorm. Well, thank you, Sandra. Yeah. It's just at this juncture, at least you don't feel hopeless like you felt in January when you know you've got so much longer of winter. There'll be more good days in the month of February before February closes out, which won't be that long from now. In fact, next Saturday night is the last day of February. So we should see you Wednesday night. We should see you Wednesday. And for another edition of Worldwide Ramblings at 9 p.m. East Coast time. Chocolat, says David Culp. Thank you again for hitting the thanks button. Please do, if you haven't, hit the thanks button for any amount or the Cash App, which is lowercase letters, Media Guy 56. Media Guy 56. So, yeah, all right. So that's Worldwide Ramblings for a Saturday, February 21st. Maybe I'll do a little pop on from the snowstorm so you can see what that's like. Just be short, but we'll do it from out there, maybe. Thank you, Gloria Prayers for you and Karen. I appreciate that very much. So Karen got her pathology report back. And although there was some inflammation, there is no cancer. And I am just so thankful to God, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit for that. She had a colonoscopy, and, she's got to some things, various health issues she's got to keep a watch on, but no cancer. And I praise God for that. Good night, everyone, says Rita. Same says Neo. Blessings and love to you all. Carol Cook, good night. Sandra, see, when I start naming names, I'm going to leave out a bunch of people, and I don't mean to do that. Maple bacon donuts are good. I've heard about that. I would like to try one. I would. I love maple icing, so put a little bacon flavor in there. That does sound good. Thank you very much, Sandra. Appreciate that very much. Thank you, Katina, who had a good reaction to that in the email and what have you. Appreciate you guys so much. And we're not going to continue anymore unless the participants can keep doing updated replies. I'm not going to mention Gene Ho unless I tell you that I love Gene Ho, and I hope that this all gets worked out. Hope it all gets worked out. Big God bless you. Bye bye, everybody.